And a very warm welcome from myself. My name is David. I'm from Microsoft here in Hong Kong, and it's a pleasure to be with you. Now, my session is going to be much more practical. I'm going to talk about Hong Kong. I'm not going to talk about what software as a service is or cloud computing and what the definition is. I'd like to go into the meat of what Microsoft is doing in this space. I'm a bit of a cold, so excuse me if I have to take a quick drink. I've been at Microsoft 17 years. And I have to say, it's a pleasure. It really is a pleasure working here. One of the reasons why I've been at Microsoft 17 years is because it's a great place to be. There's also technology that evolves, and it's a great place to work, especially when you look at the evolution from the PC, the internet, and now to the cloud computing infrastructure. My job title is the Information Worker Business Group Lead here in Hong Kong, which means I'm responsible for all our knowledge management products, our productivity products like Office, Exchange, SharePoint, Project Visio, and all our delivery in the cloud as well. So my speech today is really going to get quite practical, and I'm going to talk about what we're doing, and also some customer examples of how they've benefited from moving to the cloud. Now, excuse me. Now, as Klaus said, I spent a bit of time in Hong Kong here, about 2 years. And when I first arrived, there was no real research done in the Hong Kong market around what is the size of the market, the opportunity, what are customers currently doing in Hong Kong. So we spent a bit of time with IDC understanding the local market. I want to share some of the data points with you. We've also produced a white paper, which you're welcome to grab from our stand later. Some of the interesting things are just the sheer market opportunity here. In the region, in the APAC region, the market itself is growing 18%, and it's around about $300 million opportunity. So, as Klaus said, relatively small. A lot of customers are still delivering on-premise solutions. But when we looked at the Hong Kong survey specifically, 26% of Hong Kong-based organizations are either deploying or already planning to deploy software as a service or cloud applications. Many of those available already today. Which is around 11% more than the APAC region. So Hong Kong is definitely a hub for delivery of this types of models of services already. And when you look at the cloud services in the terms of the business by 2013, it's around a 40 billion Hong Kong opportunity. Now, when we looked at this in a bit more detail, we wanted to focus on what size of organizations and also what sectors were looking at this in more detail. And you can see around the vast majority of people are still not deploying, so we're in the early adopter phase. But in retail financial market, we're definitely seeing some uptake of cloud computing, probably because of the impact of the recession that happened earlier this year. But we're seeing also the vast majority of adoption being in the mid-tier organizations, not necessarily the big enterprises or even in the very small business. So mid-market type customers are looking at benefits of cloud. Now, what type of applications are they looking at? When we ask them, what are your applications you're looking at now, and what are you planning in the future? The vast majority of them were collaborative. I think you heard that from Klaus and from IBM. The collaborative apps such as email, web conferencing, messaging, that type of thing, were the ones that people were looking at saving money. So outsourcing your email to a vendor like Microsoft to help reduce the headache of managing on-premise. And the business apps were around CRM, so dynamic CRM, but also storage and even business intelligence. The ability to deliver solutions, BI solutions direct from the cloud came up as an interesting opportunity. Now, when we asked them, okay, what factors, what are you guys thinking of when it comes to why you would choose a vendor for cloud computing, and what sort of factors impact your decision? Price, which I didn't notice on Klaus's slide, is also important. It's value for money, it's total cost of ownership, but also performance, availability, security, and indeed even the brand, the trust of the brand of the vendor that's delivering the service, and also the actual features and benefits that the product brings. It's not just about the technology, but it's the value for the end user. Now, another important one was the service level. So not just in terms of 99.9% available, but what's the comeback if you don't deliver 99.9% availability? So these are the types of things that we're seeing in that Hong Kong corporate customers are asking for vendors. And I'm pleased to say Microsoft is addressing these things, and we've got a very much a strategy to embrace the cloud. In fact, we have for many years now in terms of delivering a lot of the technology as a service, both in the consumer space for things like Bing and Live and Xbox Live, but also in the business space with things like Microsoft Online Services, which I'm going to talk about a bit more now, and then talk about some customer examples. So what is Microsoft's online product portfolio? Well, it really starts at a high level with the sort of architecture. And this is a very high level. But if you start with data centers, Microsoft's also a very big vendor when it comes to our investments in data centers. Each data center we're spending about $500 million, and we've got many across the world, including one here in Hong Kong and one in Singapore that supports the APAC region. Interestingly, we invest around 10,000 servers every month into our data centers around the world. That's more than Facebook, inside Facebook. So investment-wise, we're building out this infrastructure to support all these requirements for services. You also have to have the building blocks that enable this, and you heard this from Klaus and IBM, and you have to be able to deliver those services. We have the consumer services and we have our business services. The two are separate. Unlike some vendors who merge the consumer and business services into one consumer offering, we definitely feel that there's a need to differentiate between those. And the other important thing is you need to build a platform that enables developers within your organization or ISVs to build these new evolving process as a service type applications that Klaus mentioned. So maybe HR on demand or accounting on demand. But it has to be able to scale. I think Klaus mentioned this as well. It has to be able to scale on delivery, so when you launch something, you get a bigger demand. Well, in terms of Microsoft technology and services, we've got something called Windows Azure, which you could probably think of as the network operating system for the cloud that manages the data, the applications, the services, the infrastructure that enables us to scale both out and up in terms of delivery of solutions for customers. And then we have the applications on the consumer side. So if anybody's played Xbox here, we have over 3 million Xbox Live users that are using these live services today to play games online. The technology within Windows Live and within Bing is delivered through these services. And then we have the Microsoft Online Services, which is our business applications for corporate mid-tier customers. And we can, with this platform, it's a set of APIs that enable developers to quickly deliver solutions out to the market. So this is a very high level, but it really embraces the Microsoft positioning. Now, why are we doing this? Because really there's this whole evolution of people moving from not just being at their desk, but being on the move, whether it's on a smartphone, whether it's on a PC, or whether it's just on a browser from an internet cafe. So it's important that productivity is delivered to those users in a seamless and intuitive way, in the same way that you would get that from a PC, they get it from a smartphone or a browser. The choice is important, so whether it's on-premise or in the cloud, whether it's private or public cloud, we should be able to deliver the same experience across all those platforms. And the productivity should be enabled across communications, collaboration, being able to search, collaborate more effectively across those services. So you'll see more and more of Microsoft's overall productivity vision. This slide really captures where we're going and what we're delivering over